Digitizing and securing industry, infrastructure, and cities. Joining us to talk about that today, Andy Chatha, President, ARC Advisory Group. Andy, welcome.
Great to be here.
Andy, I just gave the theme for this year's conference, Digitizing and Securing Industry, Infrastructure, and Cities. Great title, but what's it all about? Why did you choose that as the theme?
Yeah. Russell, as you know, we have been doing this industry forum for 22 years. This is our 22nd one here. And lately we have been speaking with more and more infrastructure executives, such as smart grid executives, as well as railway industry, transportation executives, and also, as you know, right now, more and more cities are trying to become smart because a lot of their residents are asking them for more and more smart services and so forth. So what we have found is, as you know, cities are just starting with some smart services, whereas industry has been providing, actually, have been automating, have been actually securing their operations for a long time. So we have found that infrastructure folks, as well as city folks, they can learn a lot from the industry. We especially find that, for example, cybersecurity is a challenge for all companies these days. And as smart cities are starting to build more and more smart services, they also have to start thinking about securing their operations and so forth. So, for example, we had the head of a smart city program here in Orlando, here at the forum. And when he looked at our program, he brought all of his team here to the program so that actually they could learn from the industry what industry is doing. So I think this theme is working very well because we got to learn from each other and so forth. So I think that's the reason we chose this theme, and it seems to resonate with the audience.
No doubt about it. Smart cities is a phrase that we've been hearing quite a bit of, not just in the presentations, but at the lunch tables, in the hallways among folks as they're discussing this. So I want to drill down on that for just a moment. Tell me, why should a city consider going digital? What do you see as the benefits of doing so?
Yeah. Well, most of all, because residents, even the head of a smart city program in Orlando, residents, the tourists who are coming here to Orlando from all over the world, they are looking for more and more services. And also, increasingly, security. For his program was public safety. They want to make sure that as more and more people are coming to the city, they are safe and secure. Like the city of Orlando, they have implemented smart meter parking, for example. He gave this example. More and more consumers, they are looking for, to find spaces more easily. They want to pay for their cell phone. So consumer residents are increasingly looking for more and more services, and the same is true about transportation. We are seeing the more and more railway transportation. We need to make sure that trains are more reliable and they're coming on time. I think soon we are going to have autonomous cars. Cities are trying to prepare for autonomous cars. It's going to be a whole new ball game for the cities as more and more autonomous vehicles start to come in. So I think there is a lot cities have to do to prepare for, all the coming technology and all autonomous vehicles and so forth, and more consumers are looking for all these services from their cities.
It's interesting that you mentioned the railway industry, because I know that ARC has research going on into the so-called connected train. Very, very interesting. But I want to turn to another subject. In your keynote today, this morning, you spoke about the need for secure software platforms. Well, walk us through that if you would. Summarize your talk if you would.
Absolutely. Right now, all companies have a lot of software. They've been using this software applications for a long time. Unfortunately, the software is not easy to upgrade. It's not, in many cases, it's not easy to use. As more and more software companies are moving their software to the cloud, what we see is that they are trying to make their software more flexible, more agile, more easily actually usable, and they are trying to actually make them into what they call software platforms. And what I talked about was there are right now several new platforms, especially for IoT, Internet of Things. For example, we have many new platforms to connect all of these sensors. A city is putting in a lot more sensors, and industry is putting a lot more sensors. Even like train has all these sensors. Now, the best way to connect all of these sensors that monitor the health of a piece of equipment or train or a plant equipment and so forth is have all of these sensors so that we really know what's going on. So the best way to connect all of these sensors is to connect them with what we call device level platform, software platform. It could be a gateway, and the software can run in a gateway or a router. So you connect all of these sensors through this device level platform, and this platform can do some local analysis, but once such as alarming and so forth, but then it can move all the data to the cloud. And in the cloud, obviously, there is a compute platform. All of us are using a platform either from Amazon AWS or Microsoft Azure or Google and so forth. But then in the cloud, you have what we call IoT application platform. It is a sort of an operating system where you can build other IoT applications and run build other platforms. Then you have what we call analytics or machine learning platform. We've been hearing a lot about IBM Watson or maybe Google and so forth. Right now, literally, there are several hundred companies who have analytics or machine learning platform. And in addition to that, essentially all major companies these days are developing what we call IoT solutions on top of this. So we are talking right now at least several different platforms working together to really bring a lot of the data from the field, from the devices, from city streets, or maybe from trains, and then bring it to the cloud and do it more analysis from the data, and based on that, you really know what's going on in your plant, or on a train, or in the city, and you can do actually a lot of different things and provide on top of that, you can monitor the health of the equipment, and you can actually predict if there is going to be a failure, and hopefully you can avoid failures. So software platforms are becoming very, very important going forward.
Absolutely, absolutely. As if we didn't have enough letters in our alphabet soup, there's been a lot of talk here about the IT, OT, ET integration. Now, walk us through that. I know that's not just a buzzword. This is very important. So help us understand just what the implications of that are.
Absolutely. As the companies are trying to become digital, or maybe they're trying to transform their operations into a digital enterprise, all organizations within a company, they have to work together. Unfortunately, in the past, we had all these silos. We had, IT departments and OT departments and ET departments. Obviously, ET, I mean, by the way, engineering departments, and obviously OT operations department and so forth. But as now we are talking about actually becoming a digital enterprise, all of these organizations have to really come together. they have to work with each other. They have to collaborate because when we are talking about, for example, connecting to sensors, you are talking about it's the operations people who connect with the sensors. Now, once you bring the data to the cloud, then you're talking about it's the IT folks, and we are talking about data scientists who are analyzing all of this data. Then obviously we are talking about digital twins, where you have the simulation models of all the products and so forth. You are talking about engineering departments. So all of these departments really have to come together and to transform the organizations going forward.
It's interesting that we've been talking about the digitization of every type of industry vertical, about every type of infrastructure that they might be, and of course of cities of all sizes. And what a comprehensive look there has been at this conference, and what a great overview you have just given us just now. Andy, thank you so very much for sitting down and speaking with us.
Great to be with you.
It's Andy Chatha, ARC Advisory Group, speaking with us today about digitizing and securing industry, infrastructure, and cities. Thank you for watching.